Hey guys, my name is Adam Otkey. I write for F-Stoppers, and today I have the G Technology G-Drive EV ATC with Thunderbolt. Yeah, I got that right. This is the 1 terabyte model, and Brian is a marketing guy who sent this drive over for me to review, and he told me, let's see, I asked him if there were any formal rules for reviewing it, you know, what I can or can't do. I don't want to kill this thing. And he said there aren't any formal rules, but as I'm sure you will, please just keep in mind how the features are described. So because it floats, it's kind of hard to test whether it can really withstand being soaked and completely in water. So I have a spatula and we're just gonna hold it down. If it can hold water out of it for 30 seconds, I really would hope it could go for 45 or so. If it really comes in exactly at 31 seconds, that's potentially not very useful. It doesn't make me feel great. So I'm kind of hoping G Technology is just being extra cautious. But I think that's enough time, so we'll take it out and check. Looks dry. There are a couple drops of water right there along the seal, but it's not really inside it. The seal's just doing its job. So the drop test did well, but I went to plug it into the computer through the Thunderbolt cable that folds out from the side, just like that. It's built in, attached, and it mounted and then ejected improperly on its own. So it wasn't so happy, and I noticed, you know, when I took it out first, there's a little water inside the Thunderbolt port. I don't think it messed up my computer, but I think that there's some water from the previous test inside here. I did have it in there about twice as long as it should have been, but it also was about 2 inches, not quite as deep. I thought I would get away with it. But the good news is that that's just this outer case and the Thunderbolt connection, and I took it out of the case, and it was still totally dry, still working. Nothing sounds like it's loose. And I used a USB cable and it worked just fine. Just as fast, even a little bit faster than before. So, drop test, water, still no problem for the actual data in the drive inside. And I'll let the case dry out and I'll write about whether that starts working again or not. So overall, I have a couple issues or questions with this drive. First of all, the Thunderbolt port has a little blue cover on it, and it's attached to the cable, so when you take it off it doesn't go anywhere, but that plastic seems awfully thin, and where it joins from some kind of mold you can see it's even thinner, and I feel like with time that would easily wear out and break. It definitely already stretches out and gets a little looser. So I'm worried about that because it's also the same material that's covering the port itself. I feel like it should have been a little bit of a stronger rubber or something like that to protect it a little better, but it doesn't slide on super snugly. It does stop some stuff, but it just seems like it would have been pretty easy to make it a little bit better. That said, the cable's also a little bit short. So I would have loved to have had another 6 inches, and that would have been harder because it would have had to wrap around all the way. So they really did as much as they could, I think, but that is a bit of a nuisance just to get, you know, 10-20 megabytes per second more. A nice thing is it does open really easily. I have no problem taking the drive out, constantly putting it back in. It doesn't bother me. They did a good job, and it's extremely quick in this case. The drive itself is super light. It's really lightweight. It feels lighter than any other normal portable hard drive I've felt. It's definitely some kind of plastic enclosure, but I mean, I'm sure a high quality plastic. It feels like it. It's just super, super light. And they did that, I think, because with the case combined, it adds some weight. But in general, the case seems to be made out of the same stuff, and overall, it's still a pretty light thing. It's not that heavy. It's a huge kind of chunk. It's about the size of a 3.5-inch hard drive, if you're familiar with that in your desktop. But it's very light and protective, apparently.